Chapter 1, where we are going to, I think you would have already read about the topic communication. The first two questions here, two or three questions are regarding the chapter, the first chapter, communication. So I would like to give you a brief introduction about it. Uh, Generally, you have a 5-mark question or 8-mark question or 2-mark question, depending on the paper, from this topic. So it would be nice if you have a broad understanding of the communication. Communication is very important, especially in your field, uh, because in your office or in your working atmosphere, what propels you in your career is the way you communicate. So whether it is written communication or oral communication, if you have a powerful communicator power, then that propels you in your career. So first of all, we will have an understanding about the topic communication itself. Now, communication has the word communication as it is has been derived from the word communis, which means to share, from the Latin word to share. So when you want to share a thought, an idea, or your knowledge, your whatever you have, you want something to be message, anything that you want to be conveyed or shared with another person, then we have to communicate. So communication is sharing of thoughts, ideas, and messages, information, knowledge, anything that is shared. Now, the entire process, there is a process in the communication. When the communication happens, it is an entire process. So, what are the things or ideas involved, or what are the factors involved in communication? First of all, the person who wants to communicate, he is the encoder or the sender. He wants to send a thought, he wants to send an idea. So he is the sender or the encoder. Next is the subject itself, what he wants to convey. So that is the text or whatever he wants to convey is the second factor. The third factor is the choice of the medium. How do I want to communicate? Do I want to go in person and directly face to face talk to him? Then that is one method. Or do I want to use another method for communication? Am I going to use a tool for communication? Is it a telephone, a telegram, a letter, an email? Okay, so that is the tool that you're going to use for the communication itself. And then within that, there are various kinds of communication. What are the different kinds of communication that you can think of? Verbal, non-verbal, physical. So, formal, informal, all these kinds of communication are there. What is that? What is the type you are going to choose? And then the next comes the receiver of the communication. Who is going to receive your communication? Now, between the sender and the receiver, there are a lot of barriers that come into play. Okay, so what are the barriers? Are they physical barriers or distance barriers or language barriers? All these things will try to cause a sort of a miscommunication. So all these should be minimized or dealt with or completely removed for effective communication to take place. Okay, and then the communication itself happens. Now, the receiver receives the communication, understands it, and decodes it, and then he replies or he gives back the desired result. Now, whatever the person who sent the message, he will be waiting for a response. Now, if he gets that kind of a response and it is satisfactory, it means that the communication has been successful. If that does not happen and he gets another answer or another response, that means there has been a miscommunication. Now, our aim should be to, as I said, to minimize all these barriers and give effective communication. For what? for the success of the person who wants to communicate. Now, if you are the communicator, if you are in the place of communicating a message, a text, a letter, an email, so that you want a desired result and you have succeeded in that, it means you are a very effective communicator. So we are going to make you all effective communicators. Okay. So for that, what are the things that are desirable? So only if you have an understanding of what this communication is, then you will be successful in being very good at communication, very good communicators. So we are going to look at all the things that are connected to effective or very good communication. Okay. So now that we know what is communication itself, we are going to look at the different types of communication. Now, a good understanding of the different types and styles of communication can enhance your personal and your professional career. Okay? If you communicate whatever you feel very effectively, there is no miscommunication, no misunderstanding, then your life itself will be very successful. Your personal life or your professional life will be very successful because there will be no misunderstanding on the other hand or in the other party you are giving the message to. Okay, so that is very important. So there will be no misunderstandings, no misconceptions, and it will contribute to your success greatly. Now, every person has his or her style of communication. Effective communication style depends upon whether the receiver has accurately interpreted the intended idea, thought, feelings, etc. Sometimes the speaker reveals more than he or she wished to convey through tone, gestures, etc. Therefore, it is important to understand the various modes of care. What happens is sometimes written words, or especially in written um, communication, what happens is a message. Generally, you do a WhatsApp message or an email. Your intent or your thought is not revealed properly through the written word. When it is face to face, or when the body language is revealed, when there is a smile when you say, or there is a lot of what can you say, a passion that is revealed when you talk in your tone, you know, just like saying I'm really eager to meet you. That's a written message that you're saying. But when you are talking, you say I'm really eager to see you. So what happens is the tone or the voice, the intonation, and your facial expression, everything shows that you are really intent. It is not just, or when you can say, oh, really, I'm looking forward to meeting you. So the tone itself shows that there's not so much interest in it. Okay. So these various kinds of communication is very important because it will tell you which will be more successful for your kind of message that you intend to send. The result that you are expecting from the other person is dependent upon the type of communication that you select. So you should be wise enough to say, oh, this message, I should use this kind of communication. It will be more effective. For that, you have to have an understanding of the different kinds of communication. Okay. So the broad categories of communication are, what are the different kinds of communication? There are based on communication channels. Now, communication can be divided into different groups based on two different kinds of things. That is, one is based on the communication channels and one is based on the purpose and style. The communication channels are verbal, non-verbal, and visual. So you can divide communication according to the channels. That is verbal channel, non-verbal channel, and the visual challenge. Again, you can divide communication into another category depending upon the style of writing. Is it a formal communication or an informal kind of communication that you want to give? So it can be divided into kinds according to these two factors. Okay. So now we will look into the based on the communication channels. What is the communication channel? As I said, the method through which the communication is sent or given, the medium is known as the channel. Okay, that can be divided into written communication, oral communication, and visual communication. Now, verbal communication itself is the use of words. Now, verbal communication involves use of words and language in delivering the intended message. Though verbal primarily refers to communication through the spoken medium, while categorizing types of verbal communication, written and oral form of communication are included. Generally, we say, I told him verbally or I told him physically. Physically means using your body. Verbal means using your, speech. Written means you write. But here, under the types of communication, under verbal communication, you can write written communication also, because it uses the text. It uses the alphabets or the text. So written communication also comes under verbal communication. So based on the communication channels, we have verbal, non-verbal, and visual. Under verbal, we have written and oral communication. Okay. So can you tell that again? Are you following me? Sakshi and Kavinila?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to follow me?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, but I see only one PDF. The first question: what are the types of formal communication?
Yeah, I'm coming to that. The question 1, question 2, and question 3, all
Yes.
these with this chapter communication. So I thought I'll give you a fairly good idea of communication, so that you will understand where this question is coming from. Okay.
Ma'am, there was one more channel, na? Auto visual.
Yeah, audio visual channel. Yeah, that is also there. Audio visual channel is also there. I'll come to that. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So as I said, under the various kinds of communication, depending upon the different channels that we use, verbal communication, non-verbal communication, and visual communication are there. Now, under written communication, under verbal communication, we have written and oral. Written communication, what is the type of written communication you can think of? What are written communication that you know?
Ma'am, like WhatsApp, sending message, chattings.
Yes, WhatsApp is the last thing. Before that, all important things. Important.
And write a letter.
Letter, very good.
Letter writing.
Email.
Emails.
Yeah, document writing, brochures, anything, any formal kind of writing is mostly done by written methods. Okay, so the written communication is generally used for formal communication. Very important in your field, especially where formal kind of writing is important. To make your written communication, as I said in the beginning, very successful, you have to have very good knowledge about your grammar, your language. That is, generally we write in English. So your English should be very strong, and you should have good clarity of what you are writing, and grammar. Grammar is very important. Okay. So all these and the style of writing, all these make written communication very effective. What I said was, especially the written form of communication is essential and indispensable for formal business interaction. When you write contracts, when you write memos, press releases, formal business proposals, and legal instructions, everything, written communication is very important, and hence it depends upon your writing style, grammar, vocabulary, and clarity. So that is written. Now, oral communication again is what you talk. And what kind of oral communication can you think of?
Ma'am, video calling.
Video conferences, and videos, conferences.
Face-to-face interactions also oral.
Yes, seminars, all that. Yeah, all that for discourses that you hear, or seminars or lectures, everything comes under oral. Now, oral communication, again, what is important for that is you have to be very strong in your language. You have to have wide vocabulary, and your grammar should be perfect, and your intonation and pitch should be right. When you're talking, you should talk in a clear, there should be clarity in your speech. Pronunciation again is very important. All these come under oral communication. Now, verbal communication is supposed to be the easiest, fastest, and most important in formal kind of communication. Yet, only very few people, I think 5% or something only, it comes at on 7% of all human communication is verbal. We think verbal communication is the most important kind of communication in humans, isn't it? But it is said that only 7% of the communication falls under the verbal communication, that is written and oral communication. Now, next we have non-verbal communication. Now, non-verbal communication is a process of communicating through actions and body language without words. The messages are given without any words. The messages can aid verbal communication. As I told you, your intonation, your body language, your actions can aid your verbal communications. Now, under verbal communication, we have physical non-verbal communication, an individual's body language, facial expressions, gestures, tone, touch, and other signals constitute this type. Now, research estimates that physical non-verbal communication accounts for 55%. So this is the maximum. The physical non-verbal communication, just a smile or a nod of the head, or when you shake your head very vehemently, or when your face is not as excited as it should be, or when you touch a person and say that you are there, any kind of gesture, any kind of physical thing communicates a lot. So non-verbal communication actually helps verbal communication a lot in conveying the right message. As I told you, a written text will not convey the intent of the person, isn't it? The voice, the facial expression gives more of the communication, and it aids the written communication. So non-verbal communication is very important. That is why when you are listening to our lectures, when you're talking to a person, your body language, your intonation, all that is very important. Now, next comes paralanguage. The way you say something more than the actual words used reveal the intent of the message. The voice quality, intonation, pitch, stress, emotion, tone, and style of speaking communicates approval, interest, or lack of it. So when a lecturer asks the students, "Can you submit the assignment tomorrow?" Yes. If you say, "Yes, we can," that means there's a lot of ambiguity, lot of doubt in it. Yes, yes, we can means then there is a lot of cheer and excitement about it. So everything only through the intonation itself, the pitch of the voice itself, you can make out if there is excitement or not. So paralanguage means the intonation, stress, and the actual intent of the message is given through your voice. The voice quality, intonation, stress, emotions, okay, and the tone. So this constitutes to 38% of the communication itself. Then we have aesthetic communication, art forms like music, dance, and all that. In those days, they communicated a lot of things through art forms, isn't it? Aesthetic. That is why all our stories, religious stories, fairy tales, everything was said through dance and music. Even today, you can see all the stories of epics and other things are said in the form of songs and stories. So what is communicated through that? Your religious fervor, your love for nature, all those things were communicated through music and dance. So art forms are also important forms of communication. Next thing is appearance. Appearance is usually the first thing noticed about a person. When you go to an office, very cleanly dressed and very prim and proper and full of excitement, a nice dress, you wear neatly dressed, then it shows that you are a very organized person who is looking forward to working and bringing about a change in the office or in the society. So a lot of your enthusiasm is shown through the way you dress. You go on a Monday morning very sluggish, and your shirt is not ironed, your dress is not ironed, with dirty shoes, and your body language is very sluggish and all that. It shows your intent that you're not interested in the job, or you're not interested in anything around you. So your appearance is very, very important. And as they said, formal, you have to wear formal clothes to your office. And what is formal dress? You all know, wearing light colored plain shirts with pants, or skirts, and not t-shirts, jeans, and leather shoes. All these are formal kind of attire that you have to wear when you go to the office. There is a dress code, formal dress code, and you have to follow the dress code so that you show your interest. You communicate your interest through your appearance. Okay, that is also a kind of communication. Now the next one is visual communication. As I said, under the communication channels, verbal, non-verbal, and visual. So we have read about verbal communication, which is written and oral, and non-verbal communication, under which all these things come: non-verbal, paralanguage, aesthetic, and religious. And now you have visual communication. What are visual communication? Nothing but charts, posters, pie charts, maps, and all these graphs. All these are visual communication. Visual communication has become a very important part today in aiding written communication, because an entire page you have to write about all the accounts and all that. Instead of that, you just draw a pie chart, a small thing, or just a graph. For example, the COVID numbers, it is so mind-boggling. You have to go on reading paragraph after paragraph. How many people were sick in this month? How many people were sick in the next month? And how many were treated? How many dead? What medication was given? How many vaccinations were taken? All that will be so mind-boggling. But a simple graph you put near the topic, and it clearly explains, taking up very little space, gives you a clearer picture, and very effective. That is what is important. In visual communication is very effective and gives at a glance a lot of knowledge, saves time, saves space, and very effective. So visual communication is the kind of communication that is becoming very popular in written communication nowadays. Okay, so these are the different kinds of communication based on the channels. So now we'll come to question 1. What are the different types of formal communication? So where does this come? That's why I gave you an introduction of communication, so that I need not be telling you at random, here and there. I thought I'll give you a proper introduction so that you will understand the flow of thought. Now you have understood the different kinds of communication based on the channel. Now, based on the kind, is it a formal or informal kind of communication? Who can you tell me what's the difference between formal and informal communication? Any one of you? Kavinila? Yes, Sakshi, can you tell me, Sakshi?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in formal communications, oral and written, both are present. In informal, we can say that artists, symbols, and paralanguages are came into a informal communication.
No. Paralanguage does not come here, ma. Paralanguage is under based on the
non-variable.
Now, based on the channels, we can divide communication into verbal, non-verbal, and visual. Under non-verbal only paralanguage will come. Now this is
informal graphic also come.
Yeah, this is a different kind. What we are talking now is when you divide communication based on the type of language you use. See, when you're talking to your friend, what do you say? Hi, buddy. How are you? Can we meet up tomorrow? Like that you talk. Isn't it?
This is an informal way.
informal way. You don't follow any, even when you write WhatsApp messages or when you write a letter to your friend, you don't follow any kind of pattern.
Respective word.
Yes, but in a for you, can you write like that to your manager in the office? No, you have to follow a certain kind of format. Okay, when you're writing a letter, even a leave letter, when you're writing to your office or to your school, there is a format you have to follow: from, to, subject, and then you write and then write regards, thanking you, and then you sign, isn't it? So
Yes,
that
ma'am.
formal kind of communication. When you are writing a letter in your professional field or to somebody who is above you in the hierarchy in the office, then you follow a formal communication. Okay, it is
Yes,
both
ma'am.
and oral. When you're talking also, you talk to your friend in a very casual manner. But when you're talking to your authorities or your people, you will talk in a very formal way. So formal communication is oral and written, and there are certain rules and conventions that you have to follow. Regular format, style, and language that you have to use. When you are in an office and you write a very informal letter to a formal person, and then it shows you in very bad light. So they will say, oh, she doesn't even know how to write a formal letter. That should not happen. Okay. Now,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
yeah. So communication, there is a certain communication pattern in formal education. What is that? That is, when you are in an office, what happens is there are different systems used for communication. If it's a big office, like for example, Tata, Birla, or Cognizant, a very big company, and then they have a different kind of communication system because there are about 400, 500 employees working. They have formed their own system of communication. When it is a small office, like if it's a small grocery shop, then there is a different kind of setup where they have formed for communication. He will say, the boss will say, every day in the morning, I will come. You have to report to me how many things you sold and what was the sale, what was the profit, and what was returned, how many did you get today. All that the shopkeeper will ask the assistant or the people who are working there, and they will directly report to him. So that system will be followed in a small kind of setup for like a shop. If it's a slightly bigger office where there are about 100 people, they will follow another system. Okay, so there are different kinds of systems set up for communication in different offices. So based on that, they have told you, they have explained to you certain kinds of formal communication. The vertical communication, information can flow upwards or downwards in this organization. Data that is collected flows up to the top levels of management for review and decision making, while instructions and orders are passed down from the managements or seniors to the subordinates for implementation. So in some offices, they follow a vertical kind of system. There are about, say, about 100 people. So 10 people on the top and about 80, 90 people working below. So what will happen is all the data that is needed to be collected will be collected from the lower kind of a group, and they will collect the data and send it upwards. 20 people will collect data and send it to the next group. They will formulate that, make it into a certain kind of thing, and they will send it up. So it goes up to the boss. And then the people on top, say about 10 people there who are the management, will decide what they have to do, and they will send instructions downward. They will say, this you have to do. So one group will do this, and then below that they will do another thing, and then it will go down. So that is going up and down in a vertical way. So that is the vertical kind of uh, communication. Okay, that's a formal vertical kind of communication. Another one is horizontal. Horizontal communication involves between two parts. Now, if there are two engineers of the same level in an office, okay, they are like, they have the same kind of experience, but they are doing different projects. They are doing different projects and they have to share information. Then it is horizontal. They go like this. He will share his, he will say, I have done in this department, these two departments I have taken care of. You take care of these two departments. and then they will share both the knowledge that they have, the information, and then they will send it up. So that is horizontal kind of communication for same level, people working at the same level in an organization. Now diagonal will be, like I said, in a very big company like the Tatas or the Cognizant, what will happen is too many people are there, and so to avoid distortion or miscommunication, what happens is if the same communication is passed through different levels, there are chances of messages being misinterpreted and a lot of time is wasted. So to prevent that, what they will do is they will say this manager will directly report to the CEO or he will directly report to the manager. So what happens is diagonal, it goes cross. So if the work is important, anybody can report to anybody. I want this kind of information from this particular thing in this project. So you come and directly report to me. So that time what happens is diagonally communication happens and there is no hierarchy. Even if he's in a small position, if he's a junior engineer, he can directly go to the project director and tell whatever he knows. So this kind of communication is very popular nowadays because it saves them a lot of time and there is no miscommunication in the office. So these are the three types of, that is the first question. Okay, so you got the answer for the question. What are the different types of formal communication? That is vertical, horizontal, and which is the other one? Diagonal. Okay, you got the answer for
Yes, ma'am.
So now we will go to the next one. Question 2. Non-verbal is also one of the broad categories of communication. Explain. So it was going back and forth, so I put this in front. I explained to you what is non-verbal communication. Did you understand that non-verbal communication? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Why Kavinila not answering at all? Kavinila, how are you listening?
Ma'am, she is not there. She leave the meeting.
Okay. So I explained to you, Sakshi, about this non-verbal, physical.
Ma'am, non-verbal communication without the using words
Yes.
is a
very
non-verbal
yes.
non-verbal communication. In this communication, we using body language, appearance, symbols, and paralanguages.
Yes, correct. Very good. So you have understood now, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, as I told you, symbols such as religion, status, ego, symbols. You are dressed up well. I mean, you wear a branded T-shirt or you wear very expensive shoes. You are showing that you are coming from a rich family, isn't it? So symbols sometimes communicate certain things. Like when you are wearing a religious dollar or when you are wearing a cap or something, you show to the other people, you communicate to the other people that you belong to a certain religion, you belong to a certain class of people. So that is symbols like religious status and ego building symbols. Okay, as I told you, appearance is very important. We discussed that, isn't it? So I think you clearly understood this. Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now what are the language barriers in communication? As I told you, in the process of communication is happening, what happens is there are a lot of barriers. So these barriers, what will happen is they will cause miscommunication. Now, one such barrier is the language barrier. What happens is many a times when you're in a working place, there are all different kind of people. And when you have to communicate to such people, like for example, if you are put up in a, if you are in the south, maybe in Kerala or Bangalore or Chennai, and you got a job and they put you in the north. So you go to either wherever, like you go to Bombay or you go to Delhi, and what happens is there is a language barrier, isn't it? So the only kind of language that you can communicate is English. Now, if people in that office are not very familiar with English, they cannot understand what you're saying. Okay, so miscommunication happens. Sometimes what happens is, even if you're working in a global atmosphere, like people from Australia, from China, or from Malaysia, or people from the US, they are in your office, or from Russia, all of them will speak English itself in a very different way. We Indians speak English in a very different way. Their English will be totally different. So trying to understand that and trying to understand what they are trying to communicate is a very big challenge. So what happens is, if majority of us are Indians and there are English people or there are Americans, and you and a few group are only a minority, then what happens is they will give you a training in that kind of a slang, that kind, how to pronounce the R. See, for example, in Malayalam, they will say oil for oil. A will not come. They'll say O, oil. And like people from Gujarat, they'll say hole for hall. A sound will not come. They'll say hole. So what happens is, these are just a few words that I'm saying. But generally, when Americans speak or when people from London speak, their English itself is totally different. When they talk very fast, you will not be able to understand. So communication barriers happen because of language. So that is the language barrier, which happens in communication. So what can be done to prevent this is, it is important for you to use clear, simple, easily understandable language in the office, especially when you are communicating with a lot of people. Use simple language, because there are many people who are not very fluent with the language, and half of them are extremely fluent. So what happens is, you have to find a midway. You have to find a simple language that is easily understandable by everyone. Either written or spoken English should be simple but correct. Simple language means you cannot use wrong grammar or spellings. You should be correct but simple. Okay, that is what makes your language effective. That is what makes your communication effective. That is what is written here. As we know, lacking language knowledge can create impediment in communication. Impediment means obstruction in communication. Language varies individual to individual, place to place, region to region, and country wise. Same words may have different meaning in other language. So when you are going to the US, what will happen when you say, he or she will ask you, oh, you want to take away. You will not understand what it is. What is take away? And then you will understand, oh, he means it is a parcel. Here in India, we say, yes, please give us a parcel. But there they will say, take away. So the same meaning will have different words or jargons used in different places. So familiarity and knowledge of all the words will make you more comfortable. Even jargon, unfamiliar expressions, and ambiguous words create hurdles in communication. It is also a fact that linguistic ability of various people in a workspace is different. As I told you, some might be very fluent, some might be very mediocre in the use of the language. So you have to find a midway. Some may be proficient in languages while others may just possess basic skills. Therefore, it is important to use clear, simple, easily understandable language during official communications. So this is about language barriers. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we go to the next question. So this is about communication. We have finished with communication, okay? As I told you, it's an important chapter where they will be asking you 2 marks and 5 marks questions. So please understand what you are studying, make notes of it, and know about everything. Every corner they will ask you, at least 2 marks they will ask you. So the entire lesson you have to make into small points and try to understand the whole thing. As I told you, what is this? What are the different kinds? under channels, what are the different kinds, under the language, formal and informal, what are the kinds, what are the different barriers, what are the networks, and what is effective communication, what helps. All that if you study, definitely you can get good marks in this. Okay, so just try to write it down into points. Okay, and make a small chart, and in your mind only you keep revising. That way you will be thorough with the lesson. Okay. Okay, now we'll go to the next question. So this is about active and passive voice. Again, active and passive voice and reported speech. They will ask you questions in that. They will give you sentences and ask you to change from active to passive, passive to active, direct to indirect, and indirect to direct. They will always ask you about 5 or 6 sentences. So you have a clear understanding about what is active voice and what is passive voice. Now, when do you say that a sentence is or the verb is in the active voice? For example, I'll tell you a sentence like, for example, Jack kicked the ball. Now, Jack is the subject, kicked is the verb, and kicked the ball. The ball is the object. Okay, whatever answers the question, what is the object. Jack kicked what? The ball. So if it answers, the verb answers the question what, then that is the object. So Jack is the subject, kicked is the verb, and the ball is the object. So when the subject is doing the action, then the sentence is said to be in the active voice. Another example I can give you is Ram ate the apple. Now what is the subject here? Ram. Verb is ate. Ram ate what? The apple. Yes. So the apple is the object. So who is doing the action here?
Ram.
Ram is the subject and he is doing the action. So the sentence is said to be in active voice. Now when you are saying the verb is in the passive voice, the object will do the action and the subject will be the receiver. For example, and there will be the word by. The same sentence. He kicked the ball will be the ball was kicked by him. So when you're using the word by and you're making the object the subject, then it becomes passive voice. Okay. So Ram ate the apple. The apple was eaten by Ram. Becomes the passive voice. It is very simple, although it might look a little confusing to you. When you just use your logic and common sense and make the subject the object and the object the subject, change the verb, then it becomes very easy for you to change from the active to the passive voice. Okay. And when do you think the active voice is used? Active voice is used when most of the sentences in formal communication, you have to use only active voice because it is very clear, concise, and gives you a very lucid meaning. Okay, passive voice is a little convoluted and confused, but it has its own uses. Passive voice is used when the doer of the action is not at all important. Like for example, lots of buildings were destroyed in the flood. Okay, and many buses were burnt in the in the hartal. Okay, so who is doing the action? That is not important, but the buses being burnt is more important. When the action itself is more important than the doer of the action, then the passive voice is used. That's why you see in all the news headlines, passive voice will be used. Okay, so that is the active and the passive. If you have a clear understanding of what is what, then it becomes very easy. And when you want an authoritative tone, like for example, trespassers will be punished. Don't walk on the grass. Trespassers will be punished. When you want the tone to be authoritative, then you use passive voice. Okay. Chennai destroyed by cyclone Fury. So that time you use passive voice. So passive voice also has its own uses, but it is always better in written communication, especially in official purposes. Only active voice will be used. And as I told you, active voice, the action, the verb is, the action is done by the subject. When the object is the doer of the action, then it is passive voice. Okay. So now see here, for example, change the following sentences into passive voice. Now you know that all these 5 sentences are in the active voice. Okay. That's why they are asking you to change into passive voice. Do you buy books from the market? Do you buy books from the market? How will you change that?
Books are buy from books are buy from market.
How will you change it? The question, no? Do you buy books from the market? So you have to use the same tense and change the question. Are books bought from the market by you? So you is the subject here. So you have to add by you. Okay. Are books bought from you? Are books bought from the market by you? Okay, always remember passive voice will have the word by. The goldsmith makes the ring. Right?
The ring made by goldsmith.
Yes. You're correct in 2 things. By the goldsmith is correct. The ring you're making the subject, that is correct. But the verb you have to be careful. Okay. Makes is present tense. So what will you write? The ring
Made by a goldsmith.
the goldsmith makes the ring. The ring
Okay.
is made by the goldsmith. So you're correct. Okay. So it is as simple as that. Make the ring the subject, add by the goldsmith, and then change the verb. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You have to add the same tense. It has to be the conjugation of the word be and then the past participle of the verb. That is the trick. Okay. Now go to the third sentence. The father does not close the shop. Now which is the object here? The shop. So make the subject the shop.
Does not did not
The shop
closed by father.
No. The father does not close the shop. The shop is not closed by the father. Okay? Is not.
Ma'am, does didn't change by did.
No, that will become is.
Is
Is not closed. You have to put the past tense for close. Is closed. Is not closed by the father. Okay? Usually is becomes does in the active voice and passive voice. Is will become does. Does will become is. Always remember that. Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Who teaches you English? Who teaches you what? English. So English will become the subject. English. Teaches or past participle you write. English is taught to you by whom? Who will become by whom? Okay. English is taught to you by whom? Okay. Just a little bit of practice, you will get it. Understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Does he finish the work in a month? I told you does will become is.
Is month
does he finish the work in a month?
Is month he
No, not month.
I can't get it.
Is the work finished by him in a month? Is the work finished by him in a month? Always remember, does will become is. Okay. So then you will get it. So go through the sentences again. Do you buy books from the market?
Book
Are books
are books brought are books brought by the
from
market.
by you?
By
Okay.
you, by you, by you.
Tell again.
I brought
Are
the
books
book. Our book brought. Our book brought by market.
from the market by you?
By you.
Okay. Next one. The goldsmith makes the ring. This you got correct. Tell this.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
The ring made by a goldsmith.
The ring
Made.
is made.
Is made. Is made.
The ring is made by the goldsmith.
Of
Okay.
goldsmith.
The father does not close the shop.
The
The
shop
shop
is not closed by the shop is
by
not
the
closed by father.
father. Okay. Don't leave the correct. Very good. You got it. Who teaches you English? English.
English
Hmm.
is taught
Hmm.
by
By
by who?
very good. Very good. English is taught by whom?
Who?
Does he finish the work in a month?
Is he
Does
finish? Ma'am,
is
does change into a is
yes. Very good.
is is is
Hmm.
is the work
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
finished
Hmm.
in month.
Hmm. By
Ma'am, is is work in finished in month.
by whom? By him you have to write. Okay. Don't
By
leave the by.
him.
Always remember to write by. By and
By.
then subject. Okay. Then you will
Okay, ma'am.
very good. So you are getting it now. Little more practice, you will get it. Is the work finished by him in a month?
By
See,
him.
words you use. Don't change all these words. Okay. Only
Okay,
the
ma'am.
verb you have to change. And write by him. By whom? By
By
the
him.
by the goldsmith. Without the by, it will not be there. Okay. Always add by. Question number 2. Change the following into active voice. So now all this is in passive voice. Changes into active voice. Why is the letter read by Mohan? So by Mohan will become now start with Mohan. Mohan.
Mohan is written by a
Why
letter.
is the letter read by Mohan? Why is Mohan?
Mohan is written. Ma'am, read convert into ing. No, no, no.
No, no, no. Now why
Why
will
does not? Why does Mohan write a letter? Okay, ma'am.
read a
Ma'am,
letter?
got it.
Correct. Why is Mohan? Why
Write the
does Mohan?
letter.
I told you no, S will become does.
Does. Okay.
So
Why does Mohan
why
write? Why does
read a
Mohan
letter?
write a letter?
Very good. Correct. Now the old man is not helped by the soldier.
The old man does help by a soldier.
The old man is not helped by the soldier. By the soldier will become the subject now. Remember? The
Yes, ma'am.
soldier.
The
The
soldier
soldier.
help. The soldier help by. The
Does
soldier
right.
help by the old man. Does old man.
Does.
Does old man.
The soldier does not help the old man. Very easy. See, is will become does. Okay. By the
Yes,
soldier will become the soldier. The soldier does not help the old man.
old man.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
By whom is he praised?
Praise. Ma'am, what is the meaning of praised?
Praised means to talk very highly about somebody. By whom is he praised? By whom will become who?
Who? Who
Hmm.
does? Who does? Who's praised him?
Very
Ma'am,
good.
now in
Who?
this ma'am, now in this sentence is cannot be changed by does. Why?
No, because already there's a question here. No, by whom will become who? So who praises him? Go by
Okay.
the meaning of the sentence. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Who praises him?
Him.
A letter is read by John. So by John will become John.
John written. John written.
Hmm.
John written a letter.
That's all. John reads a letter.
Reads
Is
the
right.
letter.
No, so you write read. John reads a letter.
Letter.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The crystal vase has been broken by somebody.
Someone. Somebody.
So write somebody.
Somebody. Somebody broke.
Hmm.
Somebody broken.
Has broken. Has is here, no? So leave
Yes,
out
ma'am.
the.
Somebody has broken the crystal vase.
Very good. That's all. You leave out the bean and write somebody has broken the crystal vase. So that is act. Okay.
Yes,
Shall we?
ma'am.
So do this. Why is a letter read by Mohan?
Ma'am, in this Mohan read.
Why? Start with why.
Why does
Hmm.
why letter written by Mohan?
Not written, read, no? Why are you writing written?
Read by Mohan.
Why does?
Why does Mohan read letter?
Very good. Very good. The old man is not helped by the soldier.
The soldier does not help the old man.
Very good. By whom is he praised?
Who is praised?
Who? Whom? By whom will become who?
Who, ma'am? Who? SW. Who is praised?
Who?
Who is praised?
No. By whom is he praised? So what will happen?
By whom is he praised?
Who praises him?
Who praises him?
Okay, do that again. By whom is he praised will become who?
Who praises him?
Very good. A letter is read by John. John.
John is read. John does read letter.
No, does is not coming here. John.
John read
Ah.
a letter.
Very good. John reads a letter. Okay.
Letter.
John reads a letter. Okay.
Reads a letter.
Very good. The crystal vase has been broken by somebody.
Somebody broken a crystal vase.
Somebody has broken. Leave out the bean and write. Somebody has broken the crystal. Sometimes you know what? Leave out the somebody. The crystal vase has been broken. You can write he or she, whatever. So broke the crystal vase has been broken by somebody. Somebody has broken the
crystal vase.
If they give you a sentence like the crystal vase has been broken also, you can write. You cannot write by somebody. You can add he or she or somebody has broken the crystal vase. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Of the sentence, you have got the trick. Okay? Little more practice and you will get it. Now next one. Why does Mohan answer? Okay. Change the following into indirect speech. Now we'll go to direct and indirect speech. Next one is, what is a direct speech? When I tell you something, I tell Sakshi, you are very intelligent. Okay? I tell you, Sakshi, you are very intelligent. Now somebody is listening to that and they say, teacher said, comma, open quotes, Sakshi, you are very intelligent. Okay? That is direct speech. Now, when you want to report that, you will say, the teacher said that Sakshi is very intelligent. So that is indirect speech. So you will remove all the quotations and you will report the speech. that you have heard from somebody. So that is indirect speech. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So direct speech is a person telling directly. So you will have to the same words. You'll put a comma, open quotes, and use the same words and close quotes. But when somebody else is reporting that one, then you will say that is indirect speech. So you'll remove the comma, you'll remove all the quotation marks and say that is indirect speech. Okay. So now this is direct speech. You have to change to indirect speech. Clinton said, I am very busy now. What do you think? Clinton said that.
Ma'am, so Clinton said that he is busy now.
Yes, he was very busy now. Am
He
will
was
say,
very busy now.
yes, one tense ahead you have to go. If it's present tense, you will make it into past tense.
Past. Okay, ma'am.
Past tense, it will go to past perfect.
Hmm.
Okay. If it's present continuous, I am walking will become I was walking. It will become past continuous. Okay. Understand? So one tense ahead you have to write. Clinton said, I am very busy now will become said that he was very busy.
Busy now.
Now will become then.
Then.
Today will become that day. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yesterday will become the day before.
That
So
is.
like small changes, there's a list in the book. You have to study that. Okay?
Ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, next one. I know her address, said John. What's the answer?
John said that he didn't know the address. Didn't know her address.
He knew her address, did not know.
He knew.
John
her.
said that he knew her address. So this is present tense, it will become past tense. I know will become he knew.
He knew.
K-N-E. Okay? John said that he knew her address.
Yes,
and all
ma'am.
the quotation marks and all you have to remove. Okay? Next one. Ravi said, what is Hina doing? Ravi asked.
Ravi asked, what are
Yeah.
Hina do? Hina.
What?
What
This will become was.
What? What was Hina? Ma'am, doing convert. Doing.
Doing will be the same. Ravi asked what
was
Hina was doing. Yes. What was Hina doing? Instead of that, you have to write what Hina was doing. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Vidisha said, Ananya took pasta.
Vidita said, Ananya.
That okay.
Vidita, ma'am said, ma'am Vidita said that Ananya took pasta.
Yes. Ananya
took pasta.
Ananya had taken. I told you. This is past tense. Ananya took means past tense. Become past tense. Ananya had taken pasta. Say that again. Vidisha said.
Vidisha said, Ananya
had taken
pasta.
Yes, Vinita said that you have to write that. Okay. Vidisha said that Ananya had taken pasta. Okay. Now see this. She said water boils at 100 degree.
She said. She said had what to boil. What boil? She said that had water boils at 100 degree.
Very good. She said that Water boils at 100 degrees. Now, here we will not change the tense. Boils at 100 degree will remain boils
Same.
at 100 degree. Because why? You know why?
Ma'am, because boil is a verb.
No, because it's a scientific fact. All scientific facts and universal truths will be the same. The sun rises in the east. The sun rises
Yes,
in the
ma'am.
west. Remember that, okay? The
Ma'am, I
teacher said
remember.
that. The teacher said that the sun rises in the east will remain. The teacher
Same.
said that the sun in the east. Same like that. Water boils at 100 degrees is a scientific fact.
It's a
So you will
scientific.
just say she that, only add that and remove all the comma and say she said that water boils at 100 degrees. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You want to revise this again? You want to go through it again?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do it. Clinton said, I'm very busy now.
Clinton said that Clinton said that he is very busy. He is busy.
No.
Very. He was.
Very
He
good.
was busy then.
Very good. Excellent. Correct. You got everything correct. Clinton said that
He
very
was
busy.
very busy then.
Very good. Go to the next one. I know her address, said John.
John said that he knew her
Not
knew
new.
knew her address.
Very good. John said that he knew her address. KNOW will become KNEW.
KNEW.
Very good. Okay, next. Ravi said, what is Hina doing?
Ravi asked that had what
Asked what? Only asked.
Ravi said that what was Hina do? Hina doing, not do. Doing.
Instead of said, you can ask, write asked. Okay. Ravi asked, what will remain same? Okay. Ravi asked, what was Hina doing?
Doing.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What Hina was doing.
Vidisha.
Was, okay.
Was. Yes, ma'am. Vidisha said Ananya had took pasta.
Ananya
had took pasta.
Had took will not come. Had?
Yes, ma'am.
Had took will not come. Had taken pasta. Okay.
Had taken pasta.
Very good. Very good. Ananya said that. Always remember, after said, you have to remove the comma and write that. Okay. Ananya said that. Vidisha said that Ananya had taken pasta. Very good. He said water boils at 100 degrees.
She said that water boils at 100 degrees.
Very good. So you've got all correct. Now, next one. Change the following into passive voice. Now, this is all in active voice. You have to change into passive voice. Did she do her duty? Now, duty is the object. Make it the subject. Duty.
Duty.
Did she do her duty?
Was her duty she do?
Was her duty?
She does.
Done by her. I told you by should come no for always.
By done. By. Okay, ma'am.
Was her duty done by her?
Yes, ma'am.
The tiger was chasing the deer. This is very easy. The tiger subject was chasing verb, the deer object. Make the object the subject, the deer.
Does deer chasing by tiger?
The deer?
Ma'am, the deer chasing by a tiger.
No, the deer
was changes to is.
No. You have to add was being chased. Okay.
Was being changed.
The deer.
The deer chasing by tiger.
The deer was being chased.
Changes by tiger.
Always retain this and write being chased because ing is here, no? You
Yes,
add
ma'am.
and then chased. You have to write. Okay?
Yes,
Chasing,
ma'am.
chased. The deer was being chased by the tiger. Repeat that.
Yes, ma'am. That deer deer being chases by tiger.
Yes, the deer was being chased by
Changes
the
by
tiger.
tiger.
She has learned her lessons. Her lesson.
The lesson learned by
Her lessons.
the lessons learned by she.
No,
No,
by
ma'am.
her. By
Ma'am,
her.
it's wrong.
She will become by her. Okay.
By her.
Her
The
lessons
lesson learned by her.
have been learned by her.
Her. They have been learned by her. Okay.
Always remember in the passive voice you have to write by and you have to use the verb be. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Her lessons have been learned by her. Okay.
The lesson have been learned by her. Yes,
Very
ma'am.
good. Have you finished the report?
Have you finished report? The report finished by him.
No, maintain the question. You should not change the question here. Has the report
Finished by. Ma'am, by didn't come.
by you? Has
By
the
you. The report finished by you.
has the report
Finished by you.
been finished by you?
Be finished by you.
Okay. Has
Yes,
the
sir.
report been finished by you? Tell again.
Has the report finished by you?
Been finished. You have to write been.
Been finished by.
Okay. The police have caught the thief. The thief.
The thief
Hmm.
caught by the police.
Very good. The thief now have will become has been caught.
The thief has been caught by police.
Very good. Okay. Has been caught will come. Okay. Now do from the beginning. Did she do her duty?
Has been
Has the duty.
Has the duty done by her?
Very good. Has the duty been done?
By has been duty be done by her?
B-E-E-N, been.
Been.
The tiger was chasing the deer.
That deer has been chasing by tiger.
The deer
has been chasing by tiger.
Was will become what?
Was become has
Was being chased.
been chased. Sorry, ma'am. That deer was chasing by tiger.
Yes, the deer was being chased by the tiger. Okay.
Tiger. Yes, ma'am.
She has learned her lessons.
The lesson has been learned by him.
Very good, very good. By her only, correct.
By her.
Her lessons have been learned by her. Okay.
Her. Yes,
have you finished the report?
The report has been finished by you.
Very good. Except that you have to just change. Has the report been finished by you? Put has in the
has the report been changed by you? Okay, ma'am.
Very good. The police have caught the thief.
The thief has been caught by police.
Very good. The thief has been caught by the police.
Correct.
You're doing very well. You just have to practice a little bit, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And then it is like maths, grammar. Once you get it right, you will get full marks. Little practice has been,
Actually,
have been.
ma'am, my backlogs lecture are not completed, so I can't see the lecture of passive voice or indirect direct voice.
Why?
Because, ma'am, my exams are going on. That's why.
Okay. So you practice this, it will come. You're doing very well. Little bit of practice you can do.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the next thing is change the following into active voice. The jackpot will be won by her.
And ma'am, active voice. Okay.
By
The
her will become?
Yes, ma'am.
By her will become she. Okay.
She will won jackpot.
She will
Win the jackpot.
Very good. She will win the jackpot. Yam is eaten by people in my country.
Yam.
People in my country. People in my country.
People in my country eating yam.
Eat yam.
Eat
Is
yam.
eaten will become present tense only. Okay.
Okay,
Go by
ma'am.
this meaning of the sentence. You will do it. Yam is eaten means in the present tense. So people in my country eat yam. Okay.
Yeah.
The mother will be taught by her. So by her will become he.
He taught my mother. He taught. The mother taught. Would
be taught.
She taught my mother tongue.
She to whom? To him.
To him.
She would teach the mother tongue to him.
To him.
Say again. She
taught.
She would teach.
She would teach my mother tongue.
To him should come. Don't leave out words, okay? Everything in the sentence you should. To him will become to him. She would teach the mother tongue to him. A stone was by the kid.
The stone has.
By the kid will become the kid.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
By the kid will become the kid.
The kid. The kid. The kids throw the stone.
The kid was throwing because ing is here.
Yes,
ing was. The kid was throwing a stone. Venmati, are you understanding? Venmati is here. Nobody else is answering. Only Sakshi is answering. Okay. A stone was being thrown by the kid will become the kid was throwing a stone. Okay. The door has been knocked at by someone. Someone knocked
the door.
Yes. Someone had knocked. You have to write had knocked.
Had knocked the door.
Only remove the being and all that. Okay. For active voice. Okay. Okay. The last slide. Change the following sentences into indirect speech. She said he works in a bank.
She said
yes, she said he works in a bank will become she said
I am work in the bank.
No. This is she said he works in a bank. She's talking about somebody else. So you should say she said that
That
He works in a bank.
he works in a bank. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. She said that he works in a bank.
Huh.
Okay.
She
Next
said
one.
that he worked in a bank.
Works will become past tense. Worked.
Worked in a bank.
Yes. Next one. He said, I am coming.
He said that I am coming.
Now, what will be I am will not come. He said that.
Hello.
That
Hmm. He was coming. Okay. He said that he was coming.
he was coming.
I am coming will become he was coming. He said he was coming. Next one. He said,
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
what happened, Yogesh?
It's good only. I think Sakshi has some network issues. Sakshi, can you check?
Ma'am,
Now can you hear?
hotspot de na.
Sakshi?
Hello?
Now you
Ma'am,
can.
now clear. Actually, I have a network problem. That's I'm taking a Wi-Fi.
Okay. Okay. He said I am coming will become he said that.
He said that I was come.
No. He said that
I was
I will
coming.
not. I will become.
Wow. Ma'am, I can't
He.
understand. It's a little bit
He.
confusing.
Okay, see now for example.
Hello?
There is a lot of disturbance.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello? Sakshi, clear?
Hello? Yes, ma'am.
See, for example, now you're saying
He said that I ma'am
I will become he.
he was coming.
Yes, correct. He said that he was coming. Next one. She said, we went out last night.
She said that she went sorry ma'am. She said that they went out last night.
Not are went. They had gone out last night.
They
Went
had
is
gone
already
last
past
night.
tense. It is already
Yes.
past tense. So you have to write past perfect. She said
Yes.
that had gone out last night.
Last night.
Repeat.
She said that they had gone on last night.
Very good. That they had gone out last night. Next one. Neeraj said, I was waiting for the bus when he arrived.
Neeraj said that he was waiting for the bus when he arrived.
Now, was waiting, you must not write. Always remember, when it is in the past tense, make it past perfect. Neeraj said,
Neeraj said that he was waited.
Was waiting will become had been waiting.
Had been waiting for the last
For the bus.
waiting for the. Neeraj said that he had been waiting for the bus when he arrived.
When he had arrived. Okay?
He
Arrived
had
also,
arrived.
you can write had arrived. So that the correct sentence will be Neeraj said that he had been waiting for the bus when he had arrived. Repeat.
Neeraj said that he had been waiting for the bus when he had arrived.
Very good. Mother said you should go to bed early.
Mother said that you should gonna bed early.
Yeah. You can write I because it is she's telling you, you can understand. Mother
I
advised that I should go to bed early. Should will become the same, no change. Okay. Mother
yes, ma'am.
said that I should go
Sh-
to bed
I
early. Or
should go bed
how if you
early.
want to look better, mother suggested or mother advised that I should go to bed early. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you understood this active and passive voice. You want to do this set again?
I have a lot of practice. I have doing a lot of practice for that because I
Yeah, you are very fast, Sakshi. You are very fast in picking up. You just do practice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
You have
ma'am.
the interest also. So you do lot of practice, you will do very well. Okay.
Okay.
Very good. Now, Venmati, did you understand what has happened here? No. Okay. I think Yogesh, we have done with today's class.